Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So it goes so, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like them other dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fun I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. He was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes are killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP, oh yeah,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe, shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty, I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty, I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace of her presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher. I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world. Anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it, beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Metal Prestige. I hope everyone is doing fine. On your way in, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Even if you're watching a rebroadcast, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Welcome back. Wow! It's been a couple of days. Welcome back. Let me see here. What do we have here? We have Lady Navora. Yes, we have. Looks like we have Chinye too. Welcome. Yay. Awesome. All right, we're gonna have a fantastic show. A fantastic, short, sweet, and good. All right, Chia says, I'm in the background. That's what I'm talking about, in the gym. That's what's up. What's up, Durrell? What's going on, man? Good to see you, man. Lady Navarre, good to see you. Yes, we have a couple of things to cover today. A couple of things, but we're going to be here for an hour or less, okay? So welcome back. Do me a favor, hit that button, that like button as you're coming in, even if you're watching a rebroadcast. You know how the late night goes. It's late night for a reason. Shout out to all the Europe, UK people that are not here right now. I understand. It's okay. But, you know, we have to keep coming as much as we can and keep dropping the content, right? And I have not to have fun now. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, so we got a couple of things. Let me just do some house rules really quickly before we continue. Over here at Matter of Prestige, we talk about relationships, we talk about power, self, social, emotional intelligence, seduction, and attraction. Those are the kind of things we cover here. We stay away from anti-seductive behaviors like blaming, shaming, police brutality, all those kind of nonsense, right? Because they don't work anyway. We stay away from these things that you're looking at on the screen, okay? Because partly also because I believe there are more than enough people that will help you with that part. If that's what you're looking for, you're looking for people to hold you accountable. I'm sure there will be more than enough people that will do that, gladly do that, you know. But clearly something is not working, right? But yeah, over here we'd like to empower you, show you where your power is, okay? That way you can still choose to use it or not, okay? And we don't want to play. We don't want to help you play more of the victim, you know, even if you've been a victim in the past, okay? But today we're talking about my partner treats me like you know what? So we're going to talk about that today. But before actually let's go ahead and just dive right in through that. There's a couple of things that I want to share with you on that, okay? And then I have some other things that actually I think I should cover those things first, then we'll come back to the actual topic, okay? I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's just cover a couple of things that I saw earlier today. This news broke out earlier. Babyface. How many people know who Kenneth Edmonds Babyface is? We all know who that is, right? I hope so. Well, I'm a big fan of Babyface music, so all of the music is produced, So it was kind of shocking to me recently that he came to Newark, New Jersey on a tour with Anita Baker, and I was like, wait, how did I miss that? And I was like, oh, okay, he's not headlining. He was supposed to be a supporting act or something like that. And I'm like, okay, all right. So kind of weird that Babyface will be opening for Anita Baker, but what do I know? I don't know the numbers. Maybe she's bigger after all. But after the fact, Babyface is bigger, right? But today he got fired. He got fired by Anita Baker of the allegedly got fired off of the tour, and Babyface left this message. He said, "I am saddened by the news that Anita Baker has decided to remove me from the Songstress tour. It's unfortunate and disheartening to see how things have played out via social media, while I was looking forward to the rest of the dates. I have nothing but love and respect for Anita, and I wish her the best for the remainder of her tour." This is some of the weirdest thing ever, that I continue to see in this time and age. But, this is social media. Social media is a very powerful tool. It's a double-edged sword. You can use it for or against yourself. It's completely up to you what you do with it. You can't really blame social media for being social media, because social media is not a person, it's a tool that you get to decide to use how you deem fit. Now, it's a brand new territory for all of us. So I also understand that a lot of people they don't understand. They don't understand the magnitude or how big of a multiplier social media is, right? But it's a multiplier. That's all it is. Okay. Well, not all it is, but it's a big deal. If you misuse it, it's a big deal. But yes. So I think it was yesterday. There was some rumors or something like that Anita Baker called him out on social media. I don't know if I have that of that particular. Let me see if I can find it. Of that particular news, she was calling him out on social media, and let me see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it. I'm not sure, right? She was calling him on social media. I'm even looking at the page on Twitter. Okay, it must be her. With 750,000 monitoring spirits here. Okay. And basically called him out and say, hey, I'm asking him to call his... she claimed that she's asking him to call his fans to order to stop bullying her or something like that. I'm not sure. So... but I guess eventually she gave in, right? Like, for example, look at this quote right here, right? It says, "Hey, hello, demon," with a smiley face. I mean, this is how old is Anita Baker? She's a smiley face and everything. How old is she? Babyface is 64 years old, and she is 65. They're about the same age. Okay, so I guess it's petty time. She said, "Hello, demon. I'm right. Right, Anita Baker here. You need followers? Don't you let me put you on blast right quick." Okay, so she's replying to somebody else, right? At Nice is my friend. Luther made me my first million, and Babyface contract was for my special guest support act, and we treated him like a king. Ask him. Hashtag ask him. Right? This person was basically saying Anita has mistreated many people, including D Nice, Luther. Okay, D Nice, I think that's an old school singer, something like that. Luther and Babyface. She needs to stop. Come to me when you know facts. Oh, so she's calling that person act. This was yesterday. Let's see here. There might be some other things here I wanted to look at, but let's see. This is what happens when grown men, okay, from Babyface fan base, okay. So let's first of all look at what she's replying to. She said, this person, some love B Scott says, Anita Baker pops off on narcissist Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. Oh, this person is calling Babyface a narcissist. And his fans, Kenny's crazies are online bullies. Wow. All right, so you never know who these people are in their private life, you know. But it's kind of it's crazy. It's 64, 65 years old that will be going through this drama online. And then she goes, this is what happens when grown men from Babyface fan base threaten you, a 65-year-old woman, and you ask him to help stop the harassment. Anita Baker being harassed, threatened, is the real headline. But Massa's blogs won't print that. Okay, so here's what I think is going on. Okay, I'm speculating completely, right? I think she couldn't handle the. I think the Babyface fan online grew huge over the past 1 year. He had a halfway successful, what do you call that thing, versus concert online with Teddy Riley and a bunch of new people. Even people in the new generation discovered Babyface all over again, and it's been on the run since then. You know, people are loving him. They're finding out he wrote all of these songs for all these different artists, Madonna, what do you call it, Boys to Men, obviously Whitney Houston, Hush, all these people, right? Wrote all these great songs that were basically soundtracks of our childhood, right? And a lot of people found out. So his fan base is growing online. So, and I think some people went to the concert and then found out, like, wait, why? Who's the headline? Wait, Babyface is supposed to be headlining this concert. This is what I'm speculating is going on, right? And I think she couldn't handle the amount of love that Babyface is getting. If you take a note here, you're hearing more repeated mentioning of the fan base. Why is it not her fan base fighting for her? That's the question I would be asking, right? But I understand jealousy is a real thing, you know. And I think she went to try to talk to him and say, hey, call your fans to order. That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean fans? Call your fans to order. This is like millions of people, right? You can't control those people. You better control yourself on how you respond to what's going on online. And I think that's what happened. And I think she couldn't handle it. And now the young man, 65, 64-year-old man is being called a narcissist out of nowhere. Hey, he might be a narcissist in real life. I don't know. But this is crazy. But basically fired him. Okay. What did she say here? A hit dog will holler. Here comes Massa, the reverse racism card. Okay, so I can't see that comment. So she's replying to everything. Terrible. Not good. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So that's why Babyface came with the news and said, hey, legend hates to see it go down like this. We know the real. Bola Allah says. On the Block with Jen says, please help me understand how one of the most profound producer songwriter of our time gets removed from any tour. That doesn't make any sense. Why on earth is Babyface opening for smaller acts like Cam? He opened for Cam? That's weird. And Anita Baker. I've purchased Babyface tickets. I have. It's one of the concerts I took my girl to years ago. Purchased Babyface tickets from East to West Coast and will continue to do so. But these collab tours aren't making any sense. So they put this collaboration tours together because they want to use two different audiences to kind of increase the chances of it's about money, okay? They just want to make money, okay? The legendary Deborah Cox says, wait, what? I know, right? Tank says, all class. Well, this statement is all class. I love that. This is the kind of statement you put out. You don't even have to say it yourself. You just have somebody, can you put out something nice to the fans so they can know I'm still here, so we can get some more money, right? Your power is not in your mouth for the most part, okay? It is not in your mouth. It's about how you respond to crisis in life. When crisis happens, how do you respond to it? This is where your power is. If you don't understand this, you will continue to lose. I think Anita Baker just lost out big time. Not only losing out on the money from this store, but also from even reputation. You know, like, it's just messy. Like, this is not taking sides with Babyface. It's like I said, Babyface could, for all I know, be a narcissist behind the scenes. I don't know that. I don't know him, right? But it's not about any of that at the end of the day, especially when it comes to business. It's about how you respond to crisis. If you find that there's a lot of online bullies in the name of Babyface's fan base out there, it is in your power to talk to other people, understand other people's perspective, and they will tell you quickly, like, wait, this is a fan base. In fact, we need to take advantage of the fan base, okay? Because they're all going to come out to this store, and we're going to win them to your side too. That's the conversations that should be going on right now. Things are undefeated. You will continue to see more and more examples like this as long as you continue to pay attention, right? We need Tony and Babyface tour for the Love, Marriage, and Divorce album. Absolutely. Babyface and Friends tour next. Yes. Yeah, it's just, you know, somebody was like, they planted this. They planned this. They wanted to make it to sell. No, I don't think so. I think human beings are dumb like this. Oftentimes, they don't know how to take advantage of a crisis, a gift from heaven. All right. What they do is they overreact, right? And they lose out big time. That's what most people do. You're gonna be seeing that theme this week, all week. Okay. All right. So, yep. These are evergreen lessons. Okay. So it doesn't matter when you're watching this. This is stuff that you will see more and more of, okay? But I will keep bringing it to light for you so you can pay a little bit more attention to this kind of things when you see them happening in real time, okay? All right. Let me say, Chinye says, I think that people throw that word narcissist up and down. I know, right? The guy said, what do you mean addressing my fan base? What is that? Like one person, a two person that's bullying you? Or just a bunch of people online on the internet? And then he's now a narcissist. I don't believe he's one, especially how he's spoken highly of by people who knows him personally. Yep. I don't, oftentimes when people use the word narcissist, I automatically disagree with them. I want them to tell me the rest of the story. Automatically. Because most people are misusing the word, okay? Like literally most, almost all. Okay? I'll be right back. All right, let's get back to David Ibiyomi. Interesting. Oh, by the way, before I continue, let me just tell you this. David Ibiyomi is a pastor in Nigeria. He was a guy. The only thing I know about him is that he got what's her name? Auntie Kemi Ololoyo arrested. That's all I know about him. I don't know much about him, but I guess we can find out a little bit more about him. Before we continue, let me just go here and show you. We do have the 30-day boot camp is live. It's free. Okay. I saw Natu's message earlier that she's already starting to go through it. You can find it at loveandprestige.com. Okay. That's where you want to go to find that, to get into you sign up. It's free. Okay. It's a good, it complements premarital counseling or coaching, it complements very well. It's a good program. It's 30 days to immerse yourself in the concepts that work. These things are easier said than done. It's actually easier for me to talk about it than to actually practice it. That's the more reason why you have to go through it. Okay. So, and I think Chinye is already in that program as well. So if you're missing out already, just go ahead and get started. You can start as soon as you get started. Chinye says I'm on day 2. That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. So make sure you go ahead and sign up for that. Hey, wait, where did they go? All right. Right there. Loveandprestige.com. Now let's get into Pastor David Ibiyomi. He said, why long distance marriage can never work. Anytime you see the word never, shout out to Instablog Niger for this. Anytime you see the word never, all right, I was about to play a sound effect, but I won't play it out of respect for a pastor. Okay. But anytime you see the word never or always, there's a 99.999% chance that it's a lie by default. Okay. All right. It's exaggeration. Exaggeration is a form of lie. Okay. All right. So why long distance marriage can never work? Natu is here. Natu is a product of long distance marriage. I know way many people that are in awesome, good, healthy marriages, and they all started the same way, similar ways. Some kind of long distance was involved at some point in time, including inside of the marriage, as in like part of the marriage. The Dr. Shala that's also giving a lot of good content online around these topics. He was away from his wife for 15 years. Now let's hear what he has to say. There's a video actually, right? Never is definitely strong. It's false to say that. What the F you lie? Yeah, out of respect for the man of God, for the MOG. Let me leave that out of it, But there's more to the story, and we're doing it when we generalize or we make absolute statements. We're actually discounting the lesson that we need to learn from that. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Thank you. All of you who are doing those marriages, better call yourself to order. Your wife is in London with children. You are here. Thank you. It will never work. She will have assistant husband. You have assistant wife. It will never work. Nature boss vacuum. If you firewood, your wife go there London, you there here. So like last night it rained, so you would. It rained heavily. Inside winter, you know they there. You go tell you no winter, thank you. Deceive yourself. It will never work. Every woman lacks somebody around her. When they say two, give heat. Ecclesiastes through. So when winter, she turn her hand. No man. Yeah, no heat.
So she will have second-hand husband now suddenly.
How can your wife be in Canada with children? You are here. Thank you.
All right, so that's the word he has to say. First of all, most people that do that is circumstantial. It's not something that they want to do. We do have quite a lot of loud people making noise about why they never do that. They're all liars. They've never been in a situation where they have to do that. If you have a family that you love and you're now considering that better education and you have an opportunity to have them travel to London, Canada, or outside of Nigeria, most people take advantage of that and they figure everything else out later. That's the way it works in real life. I'm not talking about the loud ones on the internet, okay? I'm not talking about the loud ones that have never had to exercise these options. I'm not talking about the loud ones that may have been a citizen all his life, so he really doesn't understand the struggle, okay? He doesn't understand the plight, right? I'm talking about people that often find themselves in these circumstances. The last thing they're thinking about is what he's talking about, okay? Now, on the surface, I can see how it's projecting, or maybe not projecting, maybe more like he's tapping into people's ego, right? Where they might feel like I will never allow that, right? Yes, it just everything makes sense when it's just on paper, right? In real life, when you find yourself in that situation, you might be like, yes, I want a better opportunity for my kids. Babe, you go ahead. Or, I'll stay, you go. I have way too many people from all generations, okay? One of my best friends in London, that was how they did it for a long time. They were in Nigeria with their father. Their mother was working as a nurse until when they finished high school. And then she pulled everyone over to London. This is how many people got started. Okay? So this is just people yarning nonsense that they've never had to experience. All right? Now, there's a side to the conversation that we can have. Like, long distance in general will definitely add additional challenges to a relationship. A relationship can be as hard as it gets already, right? Because it's two different human beings trying to do life together. So there's a challenge with that. And when you put distance between them, it can create challenges, okay? Right? But the distance is not the problem, okay? The distance is not the problem. There's a lot more to that story. There's a lot more there, but it can represent a form of challenge, and it can become it can create division between a couple, right? But if people are aware of that and they can mitigate this particular risk and understand that, hey, this is a circumstance, it's temporary, and there's an end marking goal. It's not just that people can make it work. People have made it work. Okay. Now, have people tried to make it work and it didn't work out, and we can blame distance on it? Yes. Okay. But there's a good chance that they would have had problem anyway too, right? There's a chance. It's not all, none of it is always true. The word always, never, right? So to sit down in front of a 1,000 people audience and basically sow this seed of fear in them, it's just terrible. It's just bad. It's just bad, It's challenging, exactly. It's not never. Yep. Long distance is challenging, right? That's common sense. But to make it an absolute will almost camouflage as common sense, right? I guess it's common sense, but it's false. And it's terrible, and it has no wisdom in it, okay? Because obviously everybody's experience will be different from people to people to people, okay? Long distance is not for everyone, but I am one of the few blessed ones. I think you're one of many, many blessed ones, okay? You're one of many. Like a lot of people that we end up in the Yankee, in the overseas, were products of people who had to separate from their wives, a couple, right? Or at least you lived with somebody who separated from their couple, right? From their from their partner for a while. For a temporary period. Temporary period can last from 6 months to 20 years. Okay. In fact, I know some stories. It's not just the fact that it's challenging on the relationship. I know a particular story of the guy was here for years, 17 years or so. Finally, was able to file for paperwork for his family. He got two of his children over here. There were about 4 or 5 left in Nigeria, and then he passed away. Okay, they're all here now. Okay, so nobody's saying it's fun or anything like that, but it's not just the relationship. It's just distance. Distance can create a challenge. It's something that's supposed to be a relationship, right? But if you're aware that, hey, this is a thing, then you can work on it. You can mitigate that, right? And yes, if one partner has bad behavior, yes, there's higher chances of temptations. But when people step out of the house and they go to work, there's also higher level of temptations, right? If they have to travel from, is it the London issue or Canada issue? What if they have to work in Port Harcourt and you live in Lagos, right? Would that be challenging too? Yes. It's all of the above, right? But it's about being aware of these different things, right? And just understanding that it's not this one thing. It could be many things that will create challenges for your relationship, right? But if you have awareness around the stuff, you'll be fine, okay? If you have a partner that thinks they can mistreat you or they can disrespect you, it really doesn't matter anyway. It's just it's like blaming the social media. Blaming distance is like blaming social media. You see what I'm saying? So now, if you could make other choices, other options, if you had options, it's better to be in the same space. But the issue here is that most people that are exercising this particular thing is they don't have that option. Okay, and when you consider situation in Nigeria, people that are jackpying, it's not the easiest thing to tell people to say, hey, just stay because your marriage may break. No, that's not. Not only is it false to say it always break, right? It's also not true, and and it's hard to also take that advice. That advice is unrealistic at best. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. So I have an opportunity to travel, I won't take it because I think marriage will break. Why would marriage break when we're not breaking here, right? It doesn't make sense. There's more to those stories, and it's dangerous to continue to speak to people or preach to people that if you're apart like that, you're just going to break. No, it's not true. Okay, you can make them aware that, hey, you do understand that distance can create challenges, right? You can make them aware of that. Well, here are some tools. Here are some tools to help you. Some tools to help you, right? And then you take it from there. Now, let me see here. I see Beta Pekin. I'm gonna try to see if I can bring Beta Pekin promo on. Yeah, I'm gonna text her. She's a friend. I'm gonna see if she can come on. She has a lot of opinions in this comment. If you know, see waiting to preach again, close church, I beg. Right? She's generalizing for no reason. Of course, Daddy Freeze is here. Say, una want make I talk, Pim, I no go talk. But this kind marry itself get K-leg. How? What do you mean? Now, there are some people that live in, they have the options. I should mention this. There's some people, they have the option to stay together in one place. But somebody is living overseas and one person, and they just choose to live differently. I'm not talking about those people, right? I do think that, yeah, if you choose to do that, there's problems. Why would you want to live separately apart if you have the option of not doing that? If it's not a circumstantial thing, right? Why would you want to do that? So I think that's minority of the people that are doing that, though. Of course, official Arole say, truth, sir. Everybody's worshiping the pastor of God. I have had long distance relationship for the past 2 years, and I must say, best decision ever. I don't get it. In fact, if there's a way I can increase the distance, I will. Abi, kila want to solve. The attraction is better. The attention is better. The respect, oh my, oh my. Did I say the sex, Jesu, auntie, it drips like honey? Do I have assistant husband? No way, no way. I have never thought of it. If long distance will make your future better, do it. Daddy BB, now my guy. So I can't say much. You see, it's the extremes for me. It's when people leave one extreme and go to the other extreme, right? Why are you living apart? Okay, now distance does make the heart fonder. Okay, that is a say, and I think there's some truth to that when it comes to attraction. But it's not supposed to be a permanent thing. Okay, and that's only useful if in fact you're smothering each other already, because there's a frame of reference where you're already smothering each other and you kind of back off of each other to allow attraction, right? So it's not just distance. Again, you can't blame distance for anything, and you can't give distance credit for anything. It must be within some kind of frame of reference. What happened before? Why are you using distance right now? For how long is that going to be? At some point, right, this should be some kind of goal, right? You can't say, hey, we live in two different houses and they work for us. That's you're weird. It's not going to work for most people. Okay, it's not going to work for most people. Not on a long-term basis, not on a permanent basis. It doesn't make any sense. This is a person going to the extreme. Yes, distance does make the heart fonder, okay, but that's a temporary thing. Just like attraction is an ups and down thing, right? Let's see. Knowing that there are couples who are currently living this way and believing God strongly for God to reunite their families. Exactly. This laughter and mockery is unnecessary and insensitive. Absolutely, I agree. Jesus wouldn't talk this way to his disciples. Let's desist from messages that have no empathy. Please, this is not funny. I wonder what kind of reply they're giving this person. Somebody said deceive yourself, you see? They always think they know better than you. Jesus way they chook you know they read your Bible. Well, they will bring up the Jesus was flogging people in the temple here, right? This is why I don't argue with people that have made up their mind, or they know they come over, they know what I just hope they know what they're talking about. That's all I can do for them, okay? Instead of them to preach salvation, is this type they preach? I don't support staying apart on purpose. See, the same thing I'm saying, right? It's the extremes. I don't support staying apart on purpose either. So this comment is fire? Is lit? Okay, I don't know. Respectfully, sir, this is not true. Even husbands and wives that live together still break up. This is a fact. Still break up. Does that mean that couple that live together will never work? It's all about respect, understanding, and sincerity. All right, cool. Wahala. Well, that's just an opinion, and it's working for some. How can a man of God say those kind of discouraging words to those who it is working for? The accumulative intelligence of mankind is what makes us special amongst all other species. Everything is built upon the foundation before it. Anyway, let me come to our own chat really quickly. From that angle, he's right. Long distance is not for everyone, but I am one of the few blessed ones. Shout out to you, Natu. From that angle, is right. If it's long distance temporarily, is different. Right. So the issue is that the way he said it, majority of people doing this, practicing this, is temporary thing. Okay. And it's quite discouraging, and it sows seeds of fear. Imagine you wake up and your pastor is preaching like that, and your boyfriend, your not boyfriend, your fiance there for Turkey somewhere, all right? Now you have anxiety that whole day. Just imagine that. Like, okay, not your fiance, your husband just traveled over there to make life better for you. There's some kind of work he's doing. It's supposed to be a program. He plans that if everything works out well in the next 6 months, he's going to start put the paperwork together to bring you all over, right? Is this message helpful? Right? Will you relate? Let's start with this. Will you relate with this message? Right? Yes. So it's not just people that are doing it permanently, just as a way of life, that will relate to this message. Majority of people that will relate with this message will be people that this message will become fear for them. Right? So it's not helpful. Right? But sometimes the way they sell their business is fear mongering. So I get it. Okay. If it's permanent, not a good idea. I disagree with it if it's permanent. Absolutely. All right. I disagree with it 100% if it's permanent. I'll be right back. All right, let's talk about this one here. Who is this person? Let me see. BBN's doing. I don't know this person. Well, we don't watch BBN over here, so if they're not like the most popular, I won't know them. She says, why a relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person can't work. Why a relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person can't work. Yeah, we've talked about about this here before. Okay. It's very the way the sentence is structured is very similar to, except that there's no never or always. She just said can't work. It sounds more like an opinion. Never is not exactly an opinion. That's somebody making an authoritative, like, that's the fact, take it or leave it, like, you know. But can't work still sound closer to an opinion, but even at that, you know, it still sounds absolute. The chances that it will work is is highly truncated, right? I agree with that, right? Can it work? Yes, it can work. If you're completely disconnected from the fact that this can be a problem, I would say don't do it. Okay? If you're like, it's just love, it's just love, we love each other, that's all that matters, I was like, no, you shouldn't do it. If that person is much more educated than you, if they're in a completely different social class, somebody says social classes, so that's what we should be talking about. Is that good or bad? I was like, I don't care. But it's real. Social class is a real thing. If you step out of your social class, okay, social economy, religious, racial, just about 7 or more different dimensions, that when you cross these lines, it's not an absolute that it won't work, but you just increase the chances that it won't work, especially when you're completely unaware of what we're talking about. When you think, love should just conquer all. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Of course, love will conquer all. The problem is that we used to have love, right? When this thing start to get tested, we used to have love, So I'm looking at that statement already. Halfway agree with it. I would say, why a relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person is unlikely to work. Okay, chances, probabilities, right? There's the difference between probability and possibilities, right? Is there a possibility that it will work? Yes. Is there a possibility that it won't work? Yes. Okay, so if those two things are true, then the only thing we can talk about is probabilities. Okay. All right. Now, I don't have the numbers, but I do think that if one person is educated and the other person is not educated, everything else being equal, the chances that it won't work has increased, just like that. I agree with that 100%. Let's see what they said in completion. She says the relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person cannot work. Education shapes your reasoning. She put it so nicely, right? It does. She didn't say you're better because you're educated. It shapes your reasoning. I agree. Communication skills, I agree too. But these days, I have funny feelings about that because I see way too many educated people that are extremely terrible when it comes to communication skills. And I know uneducated people that are better at communication than them. Okay, so that second one, reasoning. Okay, she's correct because she didn't say they're better. She said it will shape it. Okay, it will shape reasoning. It will shape your method of communication. Maybe not skills, right? It will shape your communication style. That's what I would say, right? And generally your orientation. Absolutely. It's not pride, because some people say this is pride. You should date a bus driver. Don't answer until if bus driver is just something in your brain, it's like bus driver, it makes you feel like like somebody said, but what if she owns the bus driver company? That's not what we're talking about. That's disingenuous. Don't let them listen to me, okay? If the first time you hear bus driver, it makes your head go like bus driver, there's a good chance you probably shouldn't be with the bus driver. It's nothing against the bus driver, okay? But there's something to why you feel that way, and it's not necessarily because you have pride. That's what they try to make it sound like. It's not necessarily because it's just in life, in real life, among human beings, there are classes for whatever reason. Sometimes it's economical, sometimes it's social, sometimes it's just a different word, sometimes it's racial, right? Sometimes it's tribal, right? And we identify what we identify with. It is what it is, right? It is just what it is, right? So it is what it is. It's not pride if you date someone that isn't within your mental wavelength. Okay, at this point now, it starts to sound like pride, but she's absolutely correct. Wavelength doesn't have to be higher. It could just be wavelength. That one is on that side, this one on this side, right? Everybody stay in their own lane, right? It's not always true. We will cross those lanes. All we are asking you to do is be aware. You need to be aware that when you cross these lines, there will be extra friction that you will need to learn how to navigate. That's really the lesson here, okay? That's all it is, right? If you cross the line, you go marry a white girl, you're a black person, it's not just because you're attracted to white girl. That's not all of it. If you are in love with your mother and you can die for your mother, her opinion matters. If she feels some type of way and you take it back to your wife, before you know it, this issue is entangling up in multiple different ways that you don't know how to navigate. But if you are aware, at least you can calm down and learn how to actively listen, and then things will work better. There's a higher chance things will work out. But if you're completely arrogant about this and you say, no, I'm just going to cross the line, now that is pride. Now that is pride. When you say, I crossed the line, nothing happened to me. Well, wait now, relax. Right? That one is pride. Now it's not pride when you say, I don't identify with that. I'd rather stay in this lane because we understand each other better, right? We understand each other in this world. We understand. Listen, I don't want to marry Otedola's daughter because, you know what? I'm in love with Otedola's daughter. However, somebody who have listened long enough will be like, what's the obsession? No, she's just an easy example for me to give. Copy Otedola, right? I'm in love with her, but I understand there's some challenges here that I will have to learn how to navigate. When that time comes, it will come. Okay? If you're somebody who was raised in the middle of Ijoka in Ogun State, in Abeokuta, I don't know, no shade to Abeokuta people in Ogun State, right? If you're one of those people, right, and you fell in love, you kind of stumbled into Copy or Tedola in Italy, in, what's the name of that place? What's the name of that place where they bought ice cream from the other time, right? And you stumble and you guys are in love right now. So it's all sweet and dandy, right? One day is coming. That line you're crossing, right, is going to show up as a crisis. If your expectation is that it won't show up, it's worse for you. If you know that, yes, this is a real thing, I will need to learn how to navigate when that time comes, then you'll be fine, okay? That's all it is. It's not that you should never, because I never say never, right? But it's about just be aware of these things. And that wavelength thing, that mental wavelength thing is a real thing. And yes, you will lose your mind. If you're caught off guard with that, you will potentially lose your mind. Okay? Let's see here. Somebody's already saying, what of an uneducated billionaire asking for a friend? Wow. Even that one is worse. But you get the gist already. Not entirely true. Ever met an educated illiterate? No, you missed the point. When we say this kind of things, it's everything else being equal, okay? Which everything else is never equal. So the statement is already not absolute, right? There is no manual to these things. There is manual. Anytime somebody says there's no manual to these things, they're literally trying to give you manual. It's a narcissistic behavior. It's arrogance. It's pride. I'm just kidding. But they're literally trying to give you their own manual. There is manual, okay? Anytime somebody, just watch it. Pay attention to what I just said properly. Anytime somebody says there's no manual, they're trying to give you their own manual. Don't be you me that one. Right? No. Somebody said nonsense talk. Her mama no go school. Let's see. My show. All right. It's true though. If you have dated Olodo before, you will understand. You understand. If you have dated Olodo before, everything is easy to them. Any slightest thing, you have insulted me like. There are people like that. Everything's an insult for them. That may be something you want to pay attention to. Okay? Listen, I encourage people to fall in love with who they fall in love with. I just want them to be aware. That's all. That if you cross certain lines, it will come with certain extra additional layer of friction that you need to learn how to navigate. And if you are in denial about that, it will get really badly for you. Somebody said, LOLs, you want the wine Odogu? I agree 100% with Doyin's statement. Honestly, I agree with her statement. All right. With that being said, I'll be right back. I have a couple of things with the actual title lesson for today for you. All right, so my partner treats me like shit. Oh god. All right, so this thing, I wanted to share this with you, because it was just a message that that kind of came to me from something I was personally going through, and I wanted to find a way to pass this down to you all. And sometimes you find yourself in a situation and you're like, it's a relationship, right? It's not always romantic relationship, but it's a relationship of some sort. You're in it, and you don't really have a choice. At least not at this moment. At least temporarily, it's not like you can run away from it, right? And then you're like, they treat other people better than you, or they don't treat you better, or they don't, or they don't treat you well enough, or you feel like you deserve better, or you feel like you're overqualified, or you're too qualified, or you're, you feel like you're not getting what you deserve, right? You're not getting the treatment you deserve, right? You will go through this sometimes in romantic relationships, right? A man will treat you like shit. At least that's how you feel. A woman will treat you like shit. At least that's how you feel. Okay? And if you feel that way, it's just as good as real. Okay? Because, hey, feelings are feelings. Okay? So, how do you handle that kind of situation? Right? The easy thing for me to run to this stage and tell you right now is just leave. Well, if you could leave, you would have probably left already, right? So not only is it easier said than done to just ask people to leave, it's also it's unrealistic, right? There's a reason why you're staying. There's some kind of value, okay, or perceived value that you're getting from staying, and that's real, It's not always just children. The easy ones is so you just stay because of children. Well, it could be children, but children is almost like the people you want to blame, but you can't blame them. There's a sense of you're protecting the children. There's something you're getting from that personally. Even including when you feel like you're protecting your children, there's something you're getting from that personally. It's not purely selfless. It's not purely a selfless act. Even when on the surface you're like, quote unquote, protecting your children. Okay, there's something that makes you feel, maybe it makes you feel like you're contributing, right? We have the 6 basic needs here. That's part of our foundation that you need to learn. Okay, maybe it's your way of contributing to other humans' life, starting with your children, right? But the reality is that you're getting something from that, right? So whatever you're getting from it is, with this theory, it can usually fall in the certainty. Maybe you're sure that there's food on the table tomorrow, so it's kind of hard to leave, right? Maybe they're fun, they make you laugh, but ultimately you guys are always broke and you don't feel secure, you don't feel safe, but somehow they bring laughter to your life, right? It could be that, or variety in other ways, not just fun stuff, right? Or maybe you're staying because status, significance in society, right? But you're getting some kind of value from that, right? And oftentimes when you come to me and tell me that your partner treats you like shit, you're not going to remember to tell me that you're also staying for some of these reasons, right? You're going to focus on how you feel, right? And you are very normal when you do that. You're just a normal human being like the rest of us. You're focused on how you feel. They make you feel like shit, right? But something is still making you stay. So it's going to take me asking you extra questions, fact finding, asking you questions, listening to you more, to unpack that, to find out why you're still you're in that relationship in the first place. What is it that you're looking to get from it, right? So it's going to take us to do the work to identify what that is. Okay, so whatever that basic need is that you're getting, there is a need. There's a void that is being filled by these people, right? But you feel like you're not getting what you deserve, right? So, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. It's if it's a partner, a romantic partner that's treating you like shit, keep in mind that again, there's a value you're getting in this. So it's not just, now the value could be an unhealthy something. It could be toxic in nature, right? Something you're getting is a high for you, but eventually it's just bad for you, right? Right? It's like me tonight. Like earlier on in the evening, my wife made very nice eba and egusi for me, right? And she showed me first. She said, "Is this one enough?" And I almost want to tell her that half of that is enough, right? But it was looking too good, right? And I took the eba and I swallowed the whole thing, right? And after that, I became bloated and a bit too heavy, almost to the point that I was considering postponing this show, but I said, God forbid, right? So, but the point is that sometimes you get a high off of something that you know that eventually it's not going to be helpful for you, right? That's how we end up in some of these relationships sometimes, right? So, again, they're treating you like shit. The point here is that there's something you're doing, right, that's enabling it, okay? This is not shaming you, okay? This is just making you aware that there's something you're doing to encourage and enable that, okay? And you're not necessarily wrong for doing it, because again, your needs are your needs, right? Your needs are your needs. You have a void, it needs to be filled, right? But you need to have a plan, right? You need to have a plan in place. You need to put a plan in place for how you're going to get out of this situation, because it's absolutely unhealthy for you to feel, gentlemen, you too, yes, it's unhealthy for you to keep feeling like your partner, your wife treats you like shit, okay? But you can do something about it, right? So what is the one thing you can do about it? Like, granted, you can't leave right now, right? The one thing you can do about it, if there was only one thing you can do about it, is to increase your own value, okay? Value comes down to value. See, people are not going to maltreat or mistreat anybody that they find valuable, okay? Either in time or over time, okay? It could be either, it could be both, right? If they find value in you, they're not going to sabotage that. Now, in a temporary setting, they might not see value in you because they're overwhelmed by other things going on. Maybe they have their own personal problems. Nonetheless, I still want you to understand that if it's a consistent thing, you need to keep working. Have a plan to increase your own value, okay? So it's the same thing that I tell you when I say self-love, self-respect, self-worth. If you don't have these things, people will mimic that in how they treat you, okay? Shout out to Felicia. What did she say? The pastor seems to be entertaining the congregation. Oh, you're watching from behind. You're watching the previous part of the show. Welcome though. T Mahana, how you doing? Good to see you. She said, hey Natu, can't find the number I gave out for Voila. Tima, just join you might want to join the group. Just join the group. Natu is in there. Join the group. But if Natu is listening, you can drop the number for her again. Okay. When did you sign up? Check your spam box. Check your spam box. And as soon as you signed up, you should have access to it. You sign up with a password and a login. If you go to olatalks.com/login, you can log in from there. The same password. Okay, you can log in from there. Let me just put that here right now. Okay, you can log in from there. You can just go to olatalks.com. Actually, you will see the login link at the top in the menu. Let me put that here right now. All right, that's it right there. olatalks.com. That's the login area for the members. All right, so like I was saying, let's see here. So increasing your own value, if it comes down to everything, that's the message I have for you on this message today. My partner treats me like shit. Increase your value, okay? Have a plan to increase your own value, okay? The way you see yourself is how your partner is going to see you. They might lead with bad behavior, but if they continue to do it on a consistent basis, somehow, some way, not necessarily your fault, you're encouraging it. Okay? You're encouraging it. And you might not realize it. It's something we need to unpack. It's something we need to identify. Something we need to get to, right? Okay. Now, that's a process. You need to respect process. Temporarily, you might have to be in that situation. Again, it's something I went through myself, okay? Temporarily, you have to receive how they treat you. You might also need to pay attention to how they treat you. There might actually be value in it. There might be hidden value in how they are treating you. Of course, it feels like shit because you feel like you deserve better, but there might be hidden value in it, right? You need to identify the hidden value in it, right? Because again, it's that parable of the talent issues, right? Sometimes somebody just give you just one little kobo and you don't see any value in it, okay? And then you're comparing yourself to the person that got 5 kobo, right? And then that's a bad idea completely, okay? Because clearly what you have is 1 kobo and you don't see value in it. So it's almost, if you don't see value in 1 kobo, it's impossible for you to see adequate value in 5 kobo. It's basically oju kokoro at that point. You see what I'm saying? You can't see, if you don't see value in the penny, you cannot see value in $1 million. It's not authentic. It's basically covetousness. Okay, you're basically just not content. You're not a content person. If somebody gave you $1 million, you will squander it anyway. Okay, so when you don't see value in the situation you find yourself already, not necessarily value in staying there, but the value from drawing a point A to the point B where you're trying to get to, if you can't see that way, there's a good chance you will stay in that funk. You just be another complainer in these streets. And this is true for every situation. All right, but I'm open. If you have any questions beyond that in the comments later, anything like that, feel free. But we're going to round up the show right now today because it's supposed to be already 7 minutes over time. All right, 2 days ago I have signed up first. I think there was something broken with the emails, but check your spam box. Check your spam box. All right, either way you can log in at olatalks.com. I'll always remind you anyway if you ask me from here. All right, thank you so much everyone. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. This is another fantastic one. If you want to sign up for what she's talking about, just go to loveandprestige.com. You'll be able to download all of my books. You have access to all of my programs, as a matter of fact. So I have programs in obviously relationship stuff, real estate. Okay, if you live in the United States, you're interested in real estate, I have fantastic program back there for you. Digital marketing, if you're a content creator and stuff like that, you're looking for more stuff around there. And then also behind the scenes stuff that I generally can put on this platform here. So just go over there, it's free. Just join as a member. You have access to all of that. And then also you will have a chance to join the gang in helping us push the mission beyond where we are right now. Okay, all right, we good? Are we good? Yes, right here. Free book plus free course is 30-day boot camp, smart relationship guide, www.loveandprestige.com. All right, hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.